Welcome to the Badass Babe Manifest podcast. The vibe here is how to manifest in a simple and fun way, implementing my abundance DNA method without the bullshit, overcomplicated hacks or fluff. I'm your host, Kelly Pender, your spiritual manifestation coach, and together we're going to uncover your unique abundance frequency, step into who the fuck you are unapologetically, and remove the limitation caps as well as playing it small to open yourself the F up to the unlimited abundance, success, and money to easily flow into your life and or business. Let's manifest that shit. Hello, my love. Welcome back to another episode of the Badass Babe Manifest podcast. I'm really excited for this episode because this is something that comes up in my world and in my work a lot. And it has a lot to do with being your true, authentic self. And this is actually inspired from a call that I just got off a bit ago. I had a money manifestation audit, and on the call, my client desired to be highly paid for being her true self, right? And so what we did is we uncovered where she actually wasn't believing that it was possible for her to be paid for being who she is, for being her true self. All right. And so in the past, how many years ago? I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, my number one mantra, and this is why this resonates with me so deeply. My number one mantra was, I am highly paid for being me. That was my number one mantra. I said it all the effing time. However, my subconscious did not believe it, right? And it had to do with a limiting decision that I made in the past, and I didn't believe it until I uncovered that limiting decision, until I saw it for what it was. I processed the emotions around it, and then I made a new decision for myself. Okay. And so I'm going to share that with you in a moment so that you can shift into, holy fuck, yes, it is possible for me to be highly paid for being me, for being my true authentic self. This is a desire of mine. However, I was just protecting myself due to fear, right? So we are going to remove that self-protection layer, barrier, shield, so that you can be paid for being you, so that you can be highly, highly paid for being who the fuck you are and who you came here to be. So before I dive into that and spill the tea, I want to celebrate my client M, who went from not sharing her product line on social media because of stories, old neural pathways ingrained to lack, not feeling enough, and operating out of Newtonian physics. This was massively holding her back, all right? We uncovered that, and she rewired her brain, shifted her perception to see how valuable she is, to see the massive value in her products that only she brings to the table. And now she's creating content with ease. She's showing up, she's sharing how valuable her product line is, and she had a sale. I'm so excited for her. I'm celebrating you, boo. This is the work that we're doing inside Manifest That Shit University. And if you're feeling the call and you would love to receive feedback on what's going on subconsciously, energetically, emotionally, where I can share with you personally where you may be cock blocking the abundance, the money, the success that you desire, let's hop on an abundance frequency audit call. You can head to the link in the show notes, or you can DM me and we can get that set up. All right, my love, let's dive into this episode talking about, can I really be paid for being me? Can I really be highly paid for being me? Yes, you can. And let's fucking talk about it. All right. So I'm just getting down and dirty right into it right now. Money responds to you. So if you're resisting being you, you're resisting money. If you're resisting being you, you're resisting your desires. We'll go deeper into that in a bit, so this will really land. So let's talk about what's going on behind the scenes, subconsciously, energetically, and emotionally. What's going on is something happened in the past where you were showing up as your true, authentic self, your true, confident self. Side note, you don't need more confidence. You already are. You're just operating out of your safety, identity, and protecting yourself to be perceived a certain way. All right. So we'll get to that in a second. Something happened in the past where you had an experience where you were being your true, authentic, confident self. and someone shamed you, someone called you a name, someone criticized you, someone judged the shit out of you, and in that moment you had a very emotional reaction to it, which of course you did. That's very hurtful for any of that to happen. And in that moment, you made a limiting decision along the lines of, it is not safe for me to be my true self, for me to be my true competent self, because I will be shamed, because I will be name called, because I will be bullied, because I will be criticized and judged. And I don't want to feel those feelings, those emotions associated with authentic self and competence. So I'm not going to show up as her anymore. I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to operate out of my safety identity moving forward. Okay. And so one thing I share a lot in my work is that we're either in our safety identity or we're in our soul essence identity, which is the truth of who the fuck we are and who we came here to be. Right. And so when you're in your safety identity, what that looks like is you're showing up, but you're playing small. You're hiding yourself and you're not taking action. You're not making the moves that you know are going to move the needle in your business due to fear, right? Due to being seen, due to everything that I just said from a past experience, a past emotional experience. And so what is so important to know, is that when you are resisting yourself, you are placing yourself into a state of resistance, because energetically you're either in a state of resistance where you're closed, like doors are closed, come back another time, or you're in a state of allowing where you're open and receptive to receiving your desires, manifestations, money, abundance, wealth, prosperity, all of the things, right? You're either in a state of resistance or you're in a state of allowing. When you are operating out of your safety identity, not being who you truly are, when you're resisting yourself, you're in a state of resistance. And so you may have tried in the past to show up as your true authentic self. You like dipped your toe in, but then you were like, oh, wait, no, because I made this decision. I made this rule that when I show up as my truth, as my true authentic self, this then is going to happen. So I need to pull the plug on it and go back to my safety identity, go back to my old ways of being. But what has happened is that you're viewing it as, well, I tried to show up as my true self. I tried to open up this offer that felt completely in alignment with me and with who I am. I tried to open up this container. No one signed up. It didn't work out. So maybe it's true that I cannot be paid for being me. Is that the ultimate truth, or is it just a story? Because if this is something that you've experienced, I invite you to reflect on that moment that when you either open something up, you launched, you put an offer, a product out there, were you truly allowing yourself to be your true self, or was there some fear there? Did it not feel safe for you? And were you in self-protection mode? Right? Where you then already decided this isn't going to work. Where you already decided this isn't possible. Where you already decided no one's going to show up. No one's going to buy. No one's going to purchase. This isn't going to happen. Right? Because I have seen this time and time again with my clients before we started working together. I've seen this with myself. And so when you can get really honest with yourself and go there, have I been kind of like dipping my toe in and then pulling it out, or like in and out with operating out of my safety identity and then trying to be my true self, but then being afraid and being fearful, right? So reflect on that for a moment, because I invite you to see that the beliefs that you have around maybe it's not possible to be paid for being me, those beliefs, are they the ultimate truth, or are they just a story? Are they just a story that you've been telling yourself to keep yourself safe? Are those just stories that you've been telling yourself to protect yourself from shame, criticism, name calling, bullying, judgment, whatever it is, right? Have you been protecting yourself from allowing yourself to be you and allowing yourself to go all in on your business, your way, in a way that feels really effing good for you. Because, my love, I say this quite often, you can have all of the business strategy, amazing. But if we don't have the neural pathways, the energetics, your nervous system on board backing that business strategy, it's not going to fully work because you're not all in on yourself. You're not yet solid in your authentic self, right? We're a little wobbly in being our authentic self. And when we're wobbly in being our authentic selves, we're resisting ourselves, placing us in resistance to our desires, money, abundance, success, prosperity. Okay, so of course I have an entire science-backed technique on this inside Manifest That Shit University. However, I'm going to share with you right now how you can begin to dissolve this resistance to your authentic self. And I invite you to go back to, if this feels safe for you, okay? This is something that you get to be discerning about. This is a decision that you get to make. If it feels safe for you, I invite you to go back to that moment where you were showing up as your true competent self, where you made that limiting decision. And I invite you to feel those unprocessed emotions that you felt when you were shamed, bullied, name called. How did you feel in that moment? How did you feel in that moment? I invite you to feel all of those feelings, because those feelings are keeping you in that moment. Those feelings are keeping you in the past. Those feelings are keeping you in self-protection, in resistance, because you don't want to subconsciously and in your nervous system feel those feelings again, right? And so in this moment, if you can decide and know that it's safe to feel those feelings, and feeling those feelings is what's going to allow you to set yourself free, then when you process those unresolved emotions, when you feel them, knowing that you got you, that you're here for you, that you are safe, that you are held, that you are supported, right? That you see you, that you care, that you fucking matter. When you see that is when you can process those unprocessed, unresolved emotions. When you feel them, your next step then is to see what limiting decision that you made in that moment around what happens, or what rule happens after you show up as your true, authentic, confident self. And you get to create a new decision. You get to create a new meaning. And it could be as simple as, it is safe for me to be my true, authentic, confident self. It is safe for me to be me. It is safe to be who I am. And being who I am frees me and allows me to become open, allows me to become available, allows me to show up as the version of me who already effing has the aligned, abundant business, right? Showing up as my authentic, confident self allows me to be open and receptive to my desires. Whatever it is, whatever is coming your way, and this is something you can totally do in the bath or in your bed or a time where you're alone. You don't have to do this right now, but maybe it's coming through right now. What new meaning would you like to place around, when I show up as my true, authentic self, this then happens, right? Whatever it is, create a new decision, create a new meaning, and then begin to show up as her. Begin to make moves as her. This is how you get out of resisting yourself. This is how you accept yourself. You see yourself, knowing that it's safe to be seen. It's safe to see yourself. Then you can lean back and be like, oh, this feels so good. I feel so free. I feel free being me. I feel expansive. I feel open. I feel receptive, right? You shift out of resistance and into a state of allowing. When you shift into a state of allowing, of course, you can be fucking paid, highly, highly paid for being you. Of course, that is so easy. That's so natural. That's so normal. It's effortless. That's your new norm, right? This is how you can begin to belief shift. And this is a really simple way to do so. Not only are you then going to begin to create a new neural pathway, you're also going to regulate your wealth encoding. So my love, my message for you today is, it is deeply, deeply safe for you to be your 111% authentic self. And maybe you want to place your hands over your heart right now and say, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. It is safe to be me. It is safe to show up as my authentic self. And it is safe to make moves from there. It is safe to take action from there. I am open and receptive to receiving. That feels light, that feels free, and that feels fuck yes. So please let me know if you are giving yourself permission to shift out of your safety identity and to allow yourself to show up as your true, authentic self. Knowing and believing that, of course, I can be highly paid for being me. Of course, duh. It's so easy. It's so fun. It's so light. This is now who I am. Let me know what comes through for you. You can slide into my DMs. You know, I love hearing from you, or anything that you want to share. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I will see you in the next episode. That was so much freaking fun. If you love this episode as much as I did, please take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at @the_badassbabe so I can share and celebrate you. And I have a special gratitude gift for you. If you're feeling called, please give us a 5-star rating and write your review on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot, submit it. Let me know and I'll send you instant access to my Fuck Yes Money hypnosis as a thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.